Today marks 9 years since the tragic accident at the Lily mine in Mpumalanga, which killed 3 workers there. The remains of Pretty Nkambule, Yvonne Mnisi and Solomon Nyirenda have yet to be retrieved. A few years ago, an inquest found that illegal mining led to the collapse of the shaft. Now, the court also found that the owners of the mine and the different institutions should be held responsible. Let's speak now to Nqobile Madlala, who attended today's commemorations. Nqobile, good afternoon to you. And today I was listening very closely to what was being said, and I couldn't help but hear Stilfontein being invoked, and the sentiment was that if illegal miners could be retrieved, even their bodies, those who sadly passed away, why can't the same be done for Lily Mine? What are some of the questions, particularly from the affected families?
Yes, Polly, and you can't blame them because this incident happened in 2016. This is a very long time. Since then, these families have been sitting outside that mine waiting for a day where they will be able to get that assistance. And at the same time, you've got children that have grown up without their parents that don't even have a gravesite to point at and say, this is where my mother's laying. In fact, they took some of the family members were talking about how the children are growing up, and every year they become part of this commemoration, yet no answers have been given. They still don't understand why it would take so long to be able to get those remains, which are just less than 80 meters away, really. So there are questions around why illegal miners then were prioritized, and yet South Africans were not. And in fact, one of them saying that it doesn't make them proud to feel that South Africans are not prioritized. One child was about 5 months when the mother passed away. She is now 8 years old, and they've spoken about how she has grown up coming to this commemoration every year and being told this is what happened to your mother, but yet there's no closure for the families. The other coming with 4 children, saying that this is the 4 children that they've had to raise. There's been no accountability, there's been no assistance financially. Some of these children also haven't had any chance to be given money to go to school or be paid for school fees, rather. But none of that has happened, and they feel that accountability has not, that the mine has not taken any accountability. So they are asking again, and they're saying by August they're hoping that there will be a difference, that their loved ones will eventually be pulled up. But let's listen into the families as they explain this excruciating pain that they're going through.
Mr. President, wherever you are, humbly so, we come as families that today, can it be that you honor and release these people who are stuck in this mine? Can you make ways and means, because that you can do, make ways and means to recover this container? We really appeal to the leadership, because it is possible. We've seen it happening with the foreign national illegal miners. It's done. How is it difficult? How is it difficult?
Now, Polly, as you can hear there's frustration amongst the families talking about why is it so difficult to be able to retrieve these 3 miners. Far beyond that, another person that is currently frustrated with what has been taking place is Herman Mashaba. He says the family approached him and asked him if he could assist them. And since then, he's basically found himself in a position where he feels helpless in a sense. He says he's been speaking to his lawyers. He has about 4 million Rand bill. He looks at the fact that they've been sending letters to the South African Human Rights Commission. He says he's gone to the public protector. He says he's even gone to Black Lives Matter movement, just seeking for some assistance to say that let's echo this wide and basically get assistance for these families, and nothing has basically assisted him. So this has also taken a toll on him. But far beyond that, you've got a community now that has been divided. In fact, on the commemoration day, which was today, they woke up in the morning and closed the road so that people could not get to the commemoration, and itself feeling like these families don't have the right backup from some of the communities. So there is a cry for the community to also come together and fight for these families. But we are told that there's also a division. There are allegations of money being given to the people that were blocking the road, and they've said that they want the police to investigate, even going as far as saying that there's been shacks that have been burnt. Now, you will remember that these families have been camping outside for 6 years, and of course they've been using places, some of the shacks to stay in, and some of those have been burnt, and the families talking about how they've been threatened. And Herman Mashaba saying he's finding himself in a position where he's just not getting assistance, and it's getting frustrating. Let's listen to him.
I wrote a letter to the president of this country. I wrote the letter to the Speaker of the National Assembly. This current GNU, there's a grand coalition called GNU. I wrote a letter to the Public Protector. I wrote a letter to the South African Human Rights Commission to say, I wrote a letter to the National Prosecuting Authority to say, I've written a letter to business rescue practitioners to allow us at our own cost to get that container out. Just give us access. Are you aware, even up to today, they've not even had the decency to acknowledge our letters? We said, we don't want to mine your minerals because it looks like you have the right to these minerals. They belong to you. You are special people. We are not going to touch your mine. You can supervise the whole process. Just give us an opportunity to get this container out, because it's not only the 3 fellow South Africans who've died. The families, I don't know, fellow South Africans, if you're aware, the families of the 3 deceased have been camping a kilometer away from here for 6 years. So you can imagine the punishment that these people are going through.
Nqobile Madlala, it is absolutely excruciating what these families are saying. And I suppose with the example of Stilfontein, it's only fair and it's only normal that they would feel even more pain when they watched what happened at Stilfontein. We're going to leave it there for now. Thank you very much. Nqobile Madlala live for us at the Lilimine tragedy that happened 9 years ago today.